As a medical journalist, I am always on the lookout for new and innovative ways to challenge both my body and mind. The world of health and wellness is vast, and there is always something new to explore and understand. Cold water immersion, with its intriguing claims of boosting mood and immunity, caught my attention. The idea that something as simple as cold water could have such profound effects on our health was fascinating. Could something so primal and elemental truly impact our well-being? In a significant way, this question lingered in my mind, and I felt compelled to investigate further. The science behind it is truly fascinating. Cold water triggers a powerful physiological response in the body, activating the sympathetic nervous system and releasing endorphins. This stress, known as hormesis, can be beneficial in small doses, potentially leading to improved resilience and health. The body's adaptation to this stress is what intrigued me the most. I was particularly interested in its mental health benefits. Could this simple practice help alleviate stress, anxiety, or even depression? Could cold water act as a natural antidepressant, lifting spirits and enhancing mood? The potential was too great to ignore, and I was eager to test this theory. Facing a difficult challenge first thing in the morning appealed to me. It was a way to start the day with a sense of accomplishment and resilience. If I could conquer an ice bath, other challenges in life would seem less daunting. It was about building mental toughness and confidence. So, the challenge was set: a cold plunge every day for 30 days. It was a commitment to explore the depths of this practice and its effects on my body and mind. I prepared an inflatable ice bath and a floating thermometer to ensure the water was at the optimal temperature for maximum benefit. Was this just another wellness fad, or truly transformative? I was ready to find out, to dive into the icy depths and uncover the truth for myself. The morning of my first plunge was filled with dread. The air was crisp, and the water was a daunting 10 degrees Celsius. Standing beside the tub, my instincts screamed to turn back. Stepping into the water was a genuine shock, a biting sensation that took my breath away. My first reaction was an uncontrollable gasp and rapid breathing. I had to fight the urge to leap out, focusing on slowing my breath. After 30 seconds, the panic subsided and the cold dulled. I managed to stay in for 2 minutes, feeling numb but euphoric afterward. As I warmed up, a wave of euphoria washed over me. I felt alive, alert, and proud. The world seemed brighter, my mind clearer. Despite the initial agony, the post-plunge feeling was addictive. I knew this 30-day challenge would be fascinating. To sustain the challenge, I needed a consistent routine. Without structure, it's easy to let motivation slip, especially when the task ahead is daunting. So, I mapped out every step, making sure my mornings had a clear purpose and rhythm. My ritual began the moment I woke up, heading straight to the ice bath before my mind could protest. The early hours, when the world is quiet, became my sacred time for this practice. Doing it first thing prevented my brain from talking me out of it. If I waited, excuses would creep in. Too busy, too tired, maybe tomorrow. But by making it non-negotiable, I built discipline and resilience. I prepared the tub with care, aiming for a temperature between 8 and 12 degrees Celsius. This range is cold enough to trigger the body's adaptive responses, but not so extreme as to be unsafe. Safety was a priority. My wife was always nearby, ready to help if anything went wrong. Having her support made the process less intimidating and more manageable. I started with just 2 minutes in the water, letting my body adjust to the shock. Over time, I gradually increased my exposure, but I never exceeded 5 minutes. It was important to listen to my body and respect its limits. The benefits of cold shock are triggered within the first few minutes. Endorphins surge, circulation improves, and mental clarity sharpens. Even a short plunge can have a profound effect. The process became a ritual, a deep breath in, a slow exhale, and a steady, mindful immersion. This routine helped me stay calm and focused, even as the cold bit into my skin. Box breathing was a game changer for controlling my breath. Inhaling for 4 counts, holding, exhaling, and holding again. It kept my mind anchored and my body relaxed, even in the icy water. Afterward, I dried off gently and let my body warm up naturally. This gradual return to normal temperature felt invigorating, almost like a reward for enduring the cold. Shivering is a good thing. It generates internal heat and signals that my body is adapting. I learned to embrace the sensation, knowing it was part of the process. This routine was crucial for the experiment's success. Tracking my progress each day kept me accountable and motivated, turning the plunge into a daily victory. The cold plunge became a powerful start to my day, leaving me feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to take on whatever came next. Over time, it wasn't just a challenge, it became a cornerstone of my morning routine, transforming both my body and my mindset. The first week was a battle against my mind. Every morning I'd stare at the icy water, my heart pounding, my thoughts racing with excuses to skip it. The anticipation was almost worse than the cold itself. I questioned why I was doing this, and if I could really keep going. The icy water was a hurdle I had to overcome daily. Each plunge felt like a shock to my system, a jolt that made me gasp for air and tense up. My body rebelled, but I forced myself to stay, counting down the seconds until I could escape. The dread was intense, but the post-plunge clarity was powerful. As soon as I got out, I felt a rush of energy and a strange sense of accomplishment. My mind felt sharper, my mood lighter, and I started to look forward to that feeling, even as I dreaded the cold. By the second week, the dread lessened as my body adapted. The shock of the cold wasn't as overwhelming, and I noticed I could stay in longer without panicking. My confidence grew with each plunge, and the routine started to feel less like torture and more like a challenge I was winning. The plunge felt less like punishment and more like self-care. I began to see it as a gift I was giving myself. A way to reset, to clear my mind, and to show up for myself every day. The ritual became a cornerstone of my morning routine. By the third week, I craved the cold. The anticipation shifted from anxiety to excitement. I found myself looking forward to the invigorating shock, knowing it would leave me feeling alive and refreshed. The cold became something I welcomed, not something I feared. The ritual became ingrained, and the plunge was meditative. I learned to focus on my breath, to quiet my thoughts, and to be fully present in the moment. The cold forced me into mindfulness, stripping away distractions and worries. My mind was empty of worries, of forced mindfulness. In those moments, nothing else mattered except the sensation of the cold and the rhythm of my breath. It was a rare kind of peace I hadn't found elsewhere. In the final week, the mental benefits were undeniable. I noticed I was calmer, more focused, and better able to handle whatever the day threw at me. The cold plunge had become more than a physical challenge. It was a mental reset. I felt more resilient to everyday stresses, challenges at work, unexpected problems, even small annoyances didn't throw me off as easily. I had a new sense of inner strength and calm. Minor annoyances seemed less significant. Things that used to bother me, traffic, spilled coffee, a missed deadline, now felt like small bumps in the road, not major obstacles. Cold exposure can trigger a prolonged release of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter that boosts mood, motivation, and focus. This natural chemical shift explained why I felt so much better after each plunge, and why the benefits lasted long after I'd dried off. This explained the lasting improvement in mood and focus. I was more productive, more creative, and less likely to get distracted. The mental clarity I gained from the cold plunge carried over into every part of my day. The plunge became my secret weapon for a better state of mind. It was a daily practice that helped me show up as my best self, no matter what challenges I faced. The mental transformation was as profound as the physical. I felt stronger, more resilient, and more in control of my emotions. The journey from dread to dopamine was real, and it changed the way I approached life. The cold plunge was a tool for building mental fortitude. It taught me that I could do hard things, and that facing discomfort head-on could lead to incredible growth, both in mind and body. The cold plunge had a noticeable impact on my energy levels. I no longer needed coffee. The ice bath was more effective. The cold water provided a powerful jolt of alertness. It was a clean, natural energy without caffeine jitters. The surge in energy is rooted in our physiology. Cold exposure activates the sympathetic nervous system. Hormones like adrenaline increase heart rate and focus. The plunge became my most productive time of day. My mind was clear, and I could concentrate longer. The intense experience narrowed my focus to essentials. Every plunge provided a reliable energy boost. It became a tool to regulate my energy levels. I could seize control of my alertness each day. The cold water was a faithful partner in starting the day. I was keen to observe physical changes from cold plunging. I noticed a reduction in general aches and muscle soreness. My recovery time seemed faster after workouts. Cold water causes vasoconstriction, flushing out waste. As the body warms, fresh blood promotes healing. My body felt less creaky and more resilient. My skin felt tighter and looked healthier. Increased blood flow improved skin tone and appearance. Cold exposure can boost metabolism and aid fat loss. I felt leaner and noticed slight muscle definition. Reduced inflammation and a metabolic boost were likely. The physical changes were a welcome surprise. Cold plunging had tangible benefits beyond mental shifts. I was skeptical about cold plunging's effect on sleep. I expected it to interfere with winding down. However, it improved my sleep quality significantly. I fell asleep faster and slept more deeply. The plunge may help regulate the body's temperature cycle. Morning stimulation led to evening relaxation. My sleep tracker showed increased deep and REM sleep. Waking up less frequently became the norm. The plunge allowed my nervous system to discharge. Better sleep led to more energy and resilience. The plunge contributed to a positive feedback loop. The interconnectedness of body systems was evident. Cold plunging was a surprising aid for better sleep. After 30 days, I've learned practical lessons for cold plunging. You don't need expensive equipment, a simple setup works. The key is getting the water cold enough for a shock response. A floating thermometer ensures the right temperature. Master breath control. It's crucial for managing the plunge. Focus on a long, slow exhale to calm the nervous system. Consistency is more important than duration or temperature. Build it into your daily routine for regular benefits. Listen to your body and prioritize safety. Never plunge alone, especially when starting out. Start with short durations and gradually increase. Respect the cold's power for safe and effective benefits. As my 30-day challenge ended, I felt accomplished. The ice bath, once dreaded, became an old friend. Was it worth it? Absolutely, the benefits were profound. Improvements in mood, energy, and sleep were significant. The mental transformation was a valuable lesson in resilience. The plunge taught me self-mastery and stress management. I recommend it, with respect for the cold and health considerations. It's a powerful tool for physical and mental well-being. The plunge became a permanent part of my wellness toolkit. On challenging days, a few minutes in ice works wonders. The challenge demystified the practice, making it practical. Profound changes came from the simplest, most shocking practices.